Okay, Season 3 has finally arrived, and after spending countless hours on the PTR learning all the systems, I'm here to guide you step by step. In today's video, we're breaking down the biggest mistakes you'll make in Season 3 and how to avoid them, from tricks to gain substantially more reputation, faster and way more efficient gearing upgrades, new delve tricks, and way more. So if you're ready to make the best use of your time and avoid getting overwhelmed, let's jump right into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. To everyone who's watched, subscribed, commented, and believed in the channel, our brand new limited edition merch drop is finally here, and it represents everything we're about at the Comeback Kids. A community, partnership, high energy, and grit. So if you want to represent something bigger than just a game, now's the time to join the movement. You can check out the brand new merch live now in the link in the description below or at cbkmerch.shop, because it's never too late for a comeback. Okay, now the very first thing you should do when you log in today is immediately head on over to the Darkmoon Faire. No, I'm not joking, because for this week only, you're going to have access to a massive limited time reputation booster, and this is critical for progressing the brand new reputations in Koresh. The first bonus is from the Darkmoon top hat that you can acquire from the vendor using Faire tickets. This gives you a 10% bonus reputation for an hour, and then additionally, you can hop on the Darkmoon carousel and let it stack up to 60 minutes to get another 10% buff for 1 hour as well. That right there is a 20% reputation bonus, and yes, it works for world quests, campaign quests, Renown turn-ins, and everything else in Koresh. Don't forget also, the Darkmoon Faire tickets are warbound, so you can transfer them across all the characters that you have. So make sure to stock up on a few hats, and you'll be good to go. Additionally, a lot of players are going to be making the mistake of not doing everything possible while these reputation bonuses are active. You have all of the side quest storylines in Koresh, and they reward you with a huge chunk of reputation. And also, while you progress through the chapters of the campaign, you'll be earning thousands of bonus reputation, since those grant a really big chunk as well. On top of that, don't skip the world quest, because you'll get reputation from them also. But I do recommend waiting to do the world quest until you get a tier 3 contract off the auction house, because that will give you a bonus 15 reputation per world quest. And trust me, this sort of thing adds up fast. So if you end up timing this right with all of the bonuses and a tier 3 contract, you'll be flying through the Renown track faster than 95% of the players out there. Another trick so many players forget is that the Renown vendors from the earlier zones may still offer you one-time reward pickups that scale based off the current season we're in. So what that means is that if you've never claimed your rewards in Season 1 or 2, you can go back to these vendors right now in Season 3, and they'll reward you with power like Valor Stones, carved ethereal crest, and other supplies. I just recently finished up leveling a Night Elf warrior to max level, and because I haven't picked up any of these rewards in Season 1 or 2, they will now all scale to Season 3 content and flood me with hundreds of crest before I even get to swing my sword. It's one of the fastest catch-up mechanics available, and most players have no idea this even exists. So before you grind anything else, take 2 minutes to check Dornagal, Ajkahet, Hollowfall, and the Undermined Renown vendors, because you might have some progress there. Now, when it comes to gearing in Season 3, the functionality of it all is exactly the same as the previous seasons, but by far the biggest mistake you could be making is wasting your crest improperly. This is something I see beginner players do, and even seasoned advanced World of Warcraft players make, because of how overly complicated the gearing upgrade system is. Your number one biggest priority when it comes to gearing in Season 3 absolutely has to be focusing on the upgrade reduction brackets. This is mandatory when it comes to saving hundreds of crest and valor stones. The reason is because once you hit these brackets, you get a 33% discount. So please, just because you get a good piece of gear does not mean you should take all of your crest and valor stones and invest into it. You need to be progressing your character evenly across your equipment to hit these bracket points. I'm telling you right now, this is the secret sauce in gearing up efficiently in retail WoW. For this season, you want to do your best to hit 681 across every item slot, and then advance to the 694 bracket, and then advance to 707, so on and so forth. If you hit these brackets properly, you will get an achievement that greatly reduces the cost, and it will even allow you to convert these crests into the higher tier crests, which makes gearing substantially easier. An easy way to tell where the brackets are is when you upgrade your gear. The second it starts showing 2 crests required to upgrade that said piece of loot, you immediately stop and you go to the upgrade level before. Additionally, for at least the first couple of weeks of the season, you also don't want to spend any of your ruined or gilded crest, and you just want to save these for your Spark crafted gear to get some of the best loot in the game. From there, you take it to a crest vendor, buy what you need, and craft the best in slot item. Moving on, don't forget, after you complete the Season 3 campaign in its entirety, opening on August 19th, you will be able to enter the Mana Forge Omega raid in a story mode version to fight the last boss, Dimensius the Devourer. You'll be able to complete the raid and earn a free 704 piece of gear. This is something you can do completely solo, and the quest is most likely going to be in Tazavesh near the Renown vendor. This is something Blizzard has done the last 2 seasons in the War Within, and it's a very easy way for players to get a high crafted piece of gear, which you can then recraft later on into a gilded 720 piece. When you accept the quest, you'll be grouped up with a raid of AI teammates that are there just to give you a starter interaction of the final boss in the fight, and it will allow you to complete the raid in a story mode version, which is really fun. Moving on next, a lot of players seem to overlook the value of looking for raid content. Look, I get it, LFR is easy version of raid content, and it's tempting to skip, but in the first 3 weeks of the season, it's actually one of the smartest things you can do to get ahead. Not only does it give you a real chance at tier set pieces, which can be a massive power boost, but it also feeds you valuable raid renown, helping you to unlock even more rewards on the track. This is especially useful if you're not really raiding consistently with a guild and you're just pugging. You can still get access to all this meaningful progression, powerful gear, and a shot at building your tier set without the stress. So if you got the time, head into LFR as soon as you can as well. It's fast, easy, and the payoff is a lot better than you'd think. Moving on next, one of the biggest mistakes you can make early on in a season is burning your free catalyst charge on a low quality item just to get your tier set faster. I cannot express to you enough how big of a mistake this is. You get 1 catalyst charge every couple weeks, and that's it. So instead of wasting it on a champion or veteran piece that you'll most likely replace quickly, be patient and use it on a hero or myth track item with high staying power. In my opinion, it might even be better to wait for your great vault rewards to kick in when you start acquiring those guaranteed myth track items first. If you land a mythic track drop that happens to be a tier set slot like chest, shoulders, gloves, or whatever, that is a perfect catalyst target for you. That way you're locking in a strong tier piece that'll last the entirety of the season, not just something you'll replace in a couple weeks or down the line. Play it smart, be patient, don't waste your catalyst on short-term gains. Additionally, when it comes to delves, don't forget they are the most efficient way to gear up in the War Within, especially if you play solo. Make sure you clear all the delves to unlock all the tier levels, of course, but when it comes to gearing up early, tier 8 delves are your go-to gearing method. You want to run these with bountiful keys to get guaranteed champion track starting at 684 item level. Not only that, you'll get a massive chunk of renown with the random War Within faction, and if you're able to land this on the brand new Kahesh Trust renown track, that'll be a nice bonus also. Additionally, this can fill your great vault with a hero track loot very easily, which is nice. But once you're a bit more progressed and you're more powerful, your weekly goal should be to complete 3 tier 11 delves every week, which are mandatory. These tier 11 delves will give you a gilded stash at the end of each run, which can total out to 21 gilded crest every week. If you combine that with the Delver's Bounty at tier 11, you will get an additional 10 gilded crest from that also, totaling out to 31 gildeds that you can earn all completely solo. On top of that, you'll also earn Rune Crest, meaning that you're farming both the highest tier crest possible in the game in a very efficient loop completely solo. So early on, use your bountiful keys on tier 8, then once you progress and get more power, farm your 3 tier 11 bountiful delves a week and use the treasure map to get your bonus gilded crest. This right here is crucial to crafting that 720 gilded gear as soon as possible with your spark and shooting you up in power substantially. Don't forget to also take advantage of the Delve Treasures Murloc vendor in Dornegal as well. He will sell you a toy that can instantly teleport you to a random bountiful delve to save you a good amount of time. Additionally, he can also sell you a guaranteed hero track item that can shoot up to 710 item level. What you do is buy the Shrieking Quartz at the vendor, where you take it into a delve of tier 8 or higher and activate it at the Hearthstone checkpoint to fight the mini-boss Nexus Princess Kaiveza. Killing her will reward you with a treasure map, where you activate the map, preferably on a tier 11 delve for the additional crest, and by opening the chest at the end, it will give you a guaranteed hero track item. Don't forget the weekly delve quest every week will give you 1500 undercoin, which will pretty much have it paying for itself. Additionally, if you think you're just going to log in and spam Mythic Plus every day, I think you might be mistaken, because in Season 3, we have the Mega Dungeon of Tazavesh. Now, if you decide to enter this dungeon at Mythic Difficulty 0, it is a full-blown Mythic Plus equivalent Mega Dungeon. But the best part is there's no timer. There are 7 bosses, and the loot that drops in there, believe it or not, is hero track loot that can scale all the way up to 710 item level. That's right, the default version of Tazavesh hard mode is almost like a mini raid for just a 5-player group. And since there's no rush or timer or major pressure from being Mythic Plus, it is a great route for the majority of the player base. Don't get me wrong, this is still going to be some pretty tough content, but I'd rather wipe and simply re-pull than try to get in that Mythic Plus group finder queue. So in terms of priority for content, I'm going to make sure to do my delves first every single week and immediately head on over to Tazavesh hard mode to try to fill as many hero track item slots on my character as possible. Additionally, when you're running Mythic Plus this season, the goal isn't always going to be running just the highest key possible. There are a few key levels you need to focus on depending on what you need to progress your character at the moment. For Mythic Plus 6, this is going to be your sweet spot when you need to farm Ruined Ethereal Crest. These dungeons give a total of 18 crests per run, they drop a hero track piece of gear, and it's perfect for pushing your upgrades out of the champion track tier. At Mythic Plus 7, this is the first level where you start to earn Gilded Crest at 10 per run, and this is required for those Myth Track upgrades. Not only that, you can even buy the Gilded Crest conversion to craft your best in slot Spark Gear, and it's a very nice sweet spot for farming because the dungeons aren't that difficult, but it could start rewarding you with some of the best crest in the game. At Mythic Plus 10, these are the dungeons you want to target farm for guaranteed Myth Track loot in your Great Vault. Completing these plus 10s will fill your vault with 707 item track gear, which is as high as it goes outside of Mythic rating. You'll also be earning a nice chunk of Gilded Crest as well. And then lastly, at Mythic Plus 12, this is that sweet spot to be farming up to 20 Gilded Crest per run. And essentially, you only want to push this when you are at the end game of content to boost your power level as quickly as possible when you need Gilded Crest only. Don't forget, also reaching 2k Mythic Plus rating will give you a free Catalyst charge to convert a piece of gear into a tier set bonus. And if you're struggling to get into keys, don't remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can always level up your own key through Mythic Plus. And then if that's even a problem, go ahead and run Tazavesh Mythic 0 to get starter hero gear and climb up efficiently. Another big mistake you can make heading into a new season is, of course, not really knowing how to play your spec. This is 100% not sponsored, but if you want to just get some very basic information on your spec, I tend to go to archon.gg. I use this when I want quick answers based off of data, whether it be I want to know what the best players are running in terms of talents for Mythic Plus or rating, stat priorities, best in slot trinkets, enchants, gems, a good amount of information just starting off to give me something to work with. So if you're looking for a starter breakdown on a good amount of information, head to archon.gg. But we know Archon is sort of like the blueprint, but websites like Wowhead and YouTube are there to sort of help you master the fine details. Personally, whenever I lock into a spec, I dive into in-depth class guides written by writers on Wowhead, and they break down all of the decisions they make and why they do what they do, what each talent point means, how the rotation works in practice, where certain cooldowns fit into the flow of the rotation, literally everything. These could be a bit long and a lot to dive into, so I usually just scroll through them before bed, but if you're more of a visual learner, you could of course still just look up class guides on YouTube to get a basic understanding and knowledge point from some creators out there. If you pair all of this together with like some minor practice at the training dummy, trust me, you'll become substantially more confident in your gameplay. Additionally, an amazing way to enhance your combat abilities is also by using weak auras. If you want something very simple that Blizzard just added, they just integrated their own version. You can go under the options menu, go under gameplay, go to advanced options, and simply check Enable Cooldown Manager box. From there, you can freely move around and change what you want to be seen and track cooldowns that are somewhat valuable to you. If you want to make your own weak auras and track some of the things like you see on my screen here, it only takes a couple of minutes, so listen closely. First, make sure you have the Curse Forge app downloaded online. Next, download the Weak Auras add-on in there, and when you're back in the game, type /WA to pull up the full Weak Auras tab, and from there you can quickly make your own. Simply click the pre-made auras under the Simple tab, click Icon, and then select a smaller size like 40 by 40. From there you find the buff, debuff, or proc that you're looking to track, and that's pretty much it from a general sense. I do this on every single character I play, and it's mandatory in my opinion when it comes to increasing your overall performance for DPS healing or even tanking. This is something I cannot live without, and you should do it for sure if you want to take things to the next level. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, a massive mistake I see so many people make is trying to play World of Warcraft completely solo, all alone. I highly recommend joining a guild. The amount of time you waste getting declined from keys, struggling through groups, looking for raid opportunities, all of it disappears once you're surrounded by a community that plays the game consistently. The game is designed to reward consistency and coordination within a community, and you don't need to be some hardcore mythic raider to understand that. I think everybody occasionally, ladies and gentlemen, needs some people they can count on, whether it be crafting help, rep farming groups for the new Tazavesh hard mode dungeon, delves. Whatever the case may be, it's going to help you in the long run. Look for a guild, and personally, we're inviting individuals right now to fill out our final slots of having 1,000 in our guild, so you're more than welcome to come on down. We'll get you involved and have you making some friends consistently. So check the link in the description below, join the Discord, let's get you invited. Okay, now a quick recap on everything here so you can take a nice little screenshot. Number 1, utilize the Darkmoon Faire buffs for the 20% bonus to reputation. And while you have this reputation buff, make sure to complete the campaign, all the Koresh side quests for a ton of reputation bonuses, and then also you could do the world quest combined with a tier 3 contract. Make sure to double check all the Renown vendors across the zones to claim any leftover scaling rewards like Carved Crest and Valor Stones. When it comes to gearing up, make sure you hit those brackets of 681, 694, 707, and 720. This will give you a nice little reduction, and also make sure to save your Gilded and Rune Crest to craft your Spark gear early. On August 19th, we'll be able to complete the story mode version of the raid for a free 704 crafted quality piece, run LFR for early chances at tier set bonuses, and easy raid Renown track progress. Make sure to only use your catalyst charges on hero or mythic track items to increase their longevity, and for early on in season when you're running delves, make sure to run Bountiful Delves tier 8 for champion loot, and once you progress in power, run 3 tier 11 delves a week for big gilded crest. You could also purchase the Shrieking Quartz from the Delve vendor for a guaranteed hero track item every single week, and I highly recommend prioritizing the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon rather than Mythic Plus early on, as it scales to hero track gear and has no stress of the timer for an easy gameplay opportunity. Once you eventually get to Mythic Plus, follow the 6, 7, 10 rule for Rune Crest at Mythic Plus tier 6, Gilded Crest at tier 7, and then farm tier 10s to fill out your vault with myth track loot. Add weak auras on your screen or Blizzard's built-in cooldown manager like we showed you earlier in the video, and make sure to join a guild so you're not lonely. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. If you did, leave a comment saying Season 3 hype in the comments section below. Good luck on the season launch this week, everyone. I'll see you in Koresh.